the competitiveness that you've talked about on your podcast with, you would like to audible against Coach Saban, and you kind of like almost enjoyed the fact that you could torture him with that a
Yeah.
little bit. Now you're coming back with Damian. You reunite with him. How have those practices gone, and has any of that competitive edge that was on those fields in Tuscaloosa kind of seep back in with the UFL?
No, not. I mean, technically not for me because I have to cheer for both sides.
Sure.
I'm not calling plays. I mean, I have input and really oversee the quarterback side of things.
Sure.
But no, I mean, you want the offense to be successful, but at the same time, as the head coach, I mean, you want the defense to break on the ball, make plays, and everything. So I'm stuck in the middle. I just let everybody else, mouth off at each other and bring out the competitive spirits in that way, and then I just sit there and laugh. Or if somebody makes a good play, I cheer for them. But no, I mean, this team's been awesome. They've done everything we've asked. They come to work each and every day. They understand the process it takes, and they want to be successful as a team. So that's the best part about it is we haven't had any knuckleheads. We haven't had anybody start anything. Practice. I mean, they practice like pros. They take care of each other. They fly around. They communicate. I mean, it's really been a joy to coach them.
Awesome, awesome. What is it that led you to coaching? Because I know that there were at one point there were some political aspirations, and you're doing your podcast, but coaching. It seems like this is like it seems like you feel like this is a really good fit for you. So I just kind of wanted to kind of get maybe a little background into you know this being the next step.
Yeah. I mean, I've always coached. I've been offered OC job at certain colleges. I've been asked to be a part of Power Five staffs, guys I've had experience with at Alabama that are now head coaches other places. I've been asked to be a part of NFL staffs. I like being retired, being around my kids, playing golf, and really kind of doing what I wanted. So
Sure.
um, this was a great opportunity for me because I didn't have to go the high school route. I would probably love to one day, but this is such a professional deal. It's ran like the NFL. I don't have to go out and recruit. I can just watch film on guys and study for the draft that way. And then it's also a great fit for me because I'm a former player of recently that went through this whole process as well. And then their ultimate goal is to make it back to the NFL. So it's also to help lead these guys and teach them the correct way, not only to, make or have success for yourself, but also sustain it. And so that's the part I love about it. And I'm glad I went this route.
For sure, for sure. And Birmingham has had a lot of success with the Stallions, and I want to, from once an outsider's point of view now to being the head coach, what has it been about the Stallions that's impressed you even before taking the job?
Well, I mean, they were known for winning in the spring,
Mhm.
and even in 23 it was XFL. Birmingham was like, the talk about the USFL, and then in 24 you combine them and create the UFL, and hell, they won it that year, had success. So I mean that's the part that you know about it the most.
Sure.
You realize Skip was a coach for so long, but I just like the tradition. I mean, it goes way back. Seeing our fans at the fan event and having the old Stallions gear and hats and stuff was pretty sweet. So, um, and the fact that it's in my home state
Sure.
and I love that. Our people love football. And so it's awesome to be a part of that.
For sure, for sure. And I appreciate that. Are there any coaching philosophies from Nick Saban that you plan to either implement or in in your time, just kind of observing the game after your career is over, you're like, okay, he said XYZ. Okay, now that makes sense.
I think it's really just the thing I implement the most. And listen, Coach Saban's the greatest of all time.
Mhm.
I think where guys go wrong is they're trying to be Coach Saban when they leave there, instead of being themselves, but implementing certain areas of his teachings into their philosophy. I'm not trying to be Coach Saban. I think if you ask these guys, like I always love playing for a player-friendly coach, a guy that understood what we were going through as players, understood the scheduling part of it, took care of his guys, was there to listen if guys had suggestions. Um, that's not this Saban model.
Sure.
So where I implement his stuff is being process oriented. Everybody in this world now, everything's about how fast can you create success instead of, okay, what does it take to create that success? It's not just a viral video, it's not just overnight millionaire, it's all the long nights and days before then. And then it's not the climb up the mountain that's the hardest. I mean,
Right.
there's plenty of people that do that. It's when you're at the top, can you sustain it? Can you stay the guy on the top of the mountain? Because everybody's coming for you. So that's my biggest thing with these guys is teaching them to one, come together as a team, put your egos to the side. I thought that's what Coach Saban did, you know, better than anybody was the fact that he could take 125 selfish assholes and create a team out of it, right? And get
Sure.
everybody to put their ego to the side. So that's my biggest thing with these guys is worry about the day-to-day process. If we're doing the things we're supposed to do the way we're supposed to do them, then success will come from that.
Gotcha, gotcha. And just one last question with Coach Saban. Have you reached out to him? Have you guys talked since you've taken the Stallions job?
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
I've reached out and talked multiple times for the defensive side of things, just
Sure.
what he thought about certain guys. I mean, I had already had my opinion on them, but share coach with him. And he was with Kirby, and then he was with Pruitt, and I've talked to all those guys. I still keep in touch with them. So, yeah, I definitely talk to him, but usually when we talk, it's about anything other than football, to be honest with you. Because we both probably talk it way too much. So, um, but yeah, I've reached out to him multiple times. We've had conversations.
Gotcha, gotcha. I was going to say two guys that, and you kind of said it yourself, like two guys that talk football all the time. When they get together, that's the last thing they want to talk about. You talk
Yeah,
about fishing
oh,
trip, you talk about whatever.
100%. Yeah, he's
So
big into cars, and I
yeah,
love cars, so that's usually what we talk about is what types of cars we got.
is there anything that you've kind of learned in your time in the NFL with that?
Well, I think one most important thing is not trying to live a lifestyle that you can't sustain.
Sure.
Um, so, a lot of us come from absolutely nothing growing up, and then when you get that money, but I also think for these guys is, and you can kind of correlate it to this league as well. I think when you see guys in the NFL that get paid, all right, and they're playing out of their mind, then they get a big contract, and there's a complacency about human beings that you all of a sudden want to take a deep breath and relax because you feel like, damn, I've made it. Like I can finally, chill for a minute. And then in this business, as soon as you chill, you're passed up and let go. And for a lot of these guys, especially, in our receivers room or on our team, a lot of these guys have had NFL experience.
Sure.
And so I think when you look at this league, they might look at it as a step down, like, oh, well, the competition, I can relax. I'm better than everybody. I don't have to go out and work. And I kind of view those as the same. And so that's the biggest thing for me is, listen, it's not about like an Instagram post and getting how many ever likes you can just to make it seem like you're playing professional football. Like, no, you're here to work, and then you want to show everybody that you can achieve your ultimate goal of
Sure.
of playing in the NFL. So it's being able to, mentally separate everything and understand where your feet are and be in that moment.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I know as a head coach and as a former quarterback, it would be easy to kind of gravitate towards the quarterbacks. But when you became a head coach of the Stallions, was there either a unit or was there a side of the ball that you were super excited to work about or work with and either learn more about or take the knowledge that you've had from years playing to really kind of either implement a system or get down in the weeds with?
I mean, it's really, I mean, I mainly work with offense. We have a staff meeting every night, and I catch up on defense, and just try to understand what they're doing. But at the same time, like I'll tell Sharon, Derek, TP, and Square
Sure.
of things that playing the quarterback position that have bothered not only myself but other quarterbacks in football, like during the game, certain disguises, certain blitzes, based on whatever protection the team's running, and what I think causes issues for quarterbacks and messes with their eyes and the mental units they have, from pre-snap to post-snap. So um, but really, more than anything, it's just implementing the offense that I want. We kind of meshed mine and Siski's deal together, and I think it's a great offense. It's been a lot of fun. Some things that are new to me, so I'm also getting to learn from that side of things. A little bit of the Hugh Freeze style offense, where there's some, eye candy and things going on. So I think that's been the fun part for me is really teaching these guys the offense that I know so well, that I've ran for so many years, um, and the defense kind of I let those defensive guys. That's why I paid them more than
Gotcha.
my offensive guys, so they can worry about that side for the most part.
Gotcha. And one final question before I get you out of here. You were talking about some of the eye candy that that you guys want to develop and seeing some of these offenses. It's to me, and this is maybe the football nerd in me, but when I'm seeing a lot of this eye candy, some RPO, some orbit motion type stuff. What are some of the things that I guess as a quarterback in college and in the NFL, we've seen that evolve over time. Was that something that maybe back in the day you're like, ooh, if we had this or if we had that, or is it something that just kind of comes in out of nowhere and you as a quarterback and a leader on the offense have to adjust to?
Yeah, I think back college days, like you really weren't running RPOs like until probably my junior and senior year is kind of when RPOs started to come on to the scene. And it was more bubbles and what we call smokes, where it's a 2x2 and the inside guy is going out to block the corner, and the number one receiver is just a straight step back, one step, catches and gets north. Um, I think it's the game. A lot of teams have gone to this. Back in the day, it was they lined up in base, you lined up in 11 or 12 personnel and they played you that way. And I think when the game went to where it was more nickel and sub and you had smaller guys on the field, it's such a chess match from trying to figure out, okay, well, if we're going to be in base, what gives us an option from a sense of, hey, we can put linebackers in tough spots to where now they have to worry about the slot receiver. They can't always squeeze the box and worry about fitting run gaps. Um, and so it's kind of evolved throughout the years for sure. And then especially in college and even this league where, they're giving the O-line a 3 yard cushion. I mean, it makes
Mhm.
it tough. So if you can be successful and really have eye candy and jet motions and orbits and um, mixed in with zone reads with RPOs behind it, I mean, it puts the linebackers in a tough situation because they also, if they don't take the step down and get to their run fit, they're out of position, and then you got angles from a blocking scheme standpoint. Um, so it just makes it tougher for the defense. I think it's helped offenses, get easier plays,
Right.
but at the same time, you also, as an offense, you have to be able to run the football to have RPOs be successful.
Sure.
And it makes it much tougher if you can't run in between the tackles, especially because that's where a lot of the RPOs come off of is inside zone. It's more than outside zone. Um, so it's been a fun experience. I've kind of seen the whole deal of it where you never had them, and then now they're all over the place and they're mixed in
Right.
with damn near every play. It seems like. I also think it's hurt quarterback development and progression throughout their career because they're not worried about coverages. I mean, back in the day, it was okay, well, if they rotate down this way, we have to move the mic point over to have angles on the run game.
Right.
Um, or if they rotate down the other way, now, hell, they might be in man coverage. This run's not good. The box is loaded. We got to check protection and then give them a route combination that beats
Mhm.
that. So, you've made the game so much easier, which part of it, I think tr kind of trickles down from the college game is because of the transfer portal and you don't have enough time to really teach guys offense. So all these coaches are trying to figure out what's the easiest way that I can, create this offense so the guys can just learn as fast as possible. And
Right.
it's great for them right at that time. I
Mhm.
think it hurts the quarterbacks and everybody in the long run because I think when you look at the development of O linemen and quarterbacks more than anybody, um, I think you've seen a drop off throughout the years since the portal came about in the college level at those two positions.